Hello everybody, I haven't been on here in quite a while and I'm so excited to come back in a slightly different format under a slightly different title. So after working with a lot of plant-based lifestyle clients, I kind of shifted directions. I noticed that what was super helpful to people is actually the transformational life coaching aspect. And so I went and studied transformational life coaching, and I'm so excited to be doing this work now of transformational life coaching, specifically focusing on how to help you have more self-fulfillment in life. And I'm going to be doing a series of videos right now talking about this. And I'm going to start out with my own story and why I find this topic to be so important and why I even wanted to talk about it. Because I didn't always feel fulfilled. I didn't always experience self-fulfillment. And it was such a game changer to understand what was holding me back and how I can live a fulfilling life. And that's what I want to share with you in this series of videos. So you're going to get lots of tips and advice and strategies and practices and tools that you can implement to see how your life can be fulfilling. So let me tell you a little bit about my own story. My name is Marina, for those of you who haven't met me yet. And I was born to a Ukrainian Jewish family. And in Ukraine, Jews had a really hard time. They really felt like they had to fight to achieve the life that they wanted. And those things really trickled down to me, even though I only spent 2 years in Ukraine and then we moved to Israel and then we moved to the United States. That mentality of like always having to achieve, always having to work really hard for what you want and to fight really hard for what you want to achieve is definitely in my background, and my family raised me that way. So for so many years, that was kind of the thought, right? It was like, this is what I need to do. I have to fight. Everything is against me. I'm working so hard to get what I want. And let me know in the comments if you have lived life in the same way. And that trickled down to basically every area of my life, my relationships with men as well. My first relationship, for those of you who haven't seen, I have a whole video on this, that it was an abusive relationship. And that guy continually told me that if I leave him, no one will ever love me. And it was always in this framework of like, if you do this, you get this, you know, life cannot be friendly, it can't be good to you. And that's what I truly believed. I always was in relationships with men that really dictated how I should behave, what I should say, what I should look like, and all of that. And I was finding that I wasn't very happy. As a kid, I always had very strong opinions. So my entire life, I had strong opinions, I had strong will, and I fully believe that all of us do. Everyone watching this video, you all have your passions, the things that excite you. And not only does society often tell us, just ignore those things, go be a doctor, go be a lawyer, that's the only way to success. But it's also often our families and the people close to us that really, really convince us that we have to be going down a certain path. And then, you know, when I left kind of the corporate world, although it wasn't that corporate, I was working in a nonprofit when I lived in Jerusalem. And still I felt like I was doing what I'm supposed to. I got a master's degree, I got really good grades. If I would get anything less than 100, my family would be like, what's going on here, you know? And then I moved to San Diego, where I live now, and I started plant-based coaching, which was really my passion. I was so excited about. And at the same time, I noticed that I wasn't very fulfilled. And I just wanted to say, and I'll talk about this more later, but there's a big difference between feeling fulfilled and feeling happy. So if you feel fulfilled throughout your life, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're constantly happy. It can mean that you're sad, that you're scared, that you're frustrated, but you have the sense that you are doing what your soul really wants, that you're living the life that you want, you're creating that life. And so the biggest thing that I started to notice that was really like a wake-up call is that I really often said I should, I have to, I can, or I can't. And those words were really good because they really woke me up to notice when I was in this pattern of trying to please the system, to please my parents, to please my partners, just to please. And it became so ingrained that it really was who I became. So it wasn't really about my parents anymore. It was like, this is what I should be doing. This is what I have to be doing. And that became a huge pattern. So I remember one day I was actually driving to do some nonprofit work that I adored. It was in San Diego. And I was driving and it was like a really long drive. It was like 45 minutes and there was a lot of traffic. And I just remember being like, oh, I don't want to be here in this traffic. Like, this sucks. And when I got to where I was going, everybody kept asking me, so how was your drive? Like, that sucks. You have to come. You have to come from so far away. And so collectively, we all had this mentality of like, oh my God, this sucks. Like, why? That sucks for you. Why do you have to do that? And I had that mentality too. And I just noticed the sense of grossness. Like, I don't like this. I don't like feeling this way. It's so negative. And I feel like, do I even want to be here? Do I want to be here? And then I realized, yeah, actually, I totally want to be in this place. I want to be doing the work that I was doing during the summer. And I realized that I was really choosing it. So that tiny shift of starting to notice when I kept saying I should, I have to, woke me up to the life that I want. Not the life that I should have, but the life that I want. And really making that commitment to chasing that life. And the thing is that even like in that example, even when you're doing something that you really want, that your soul desires, but you have the mindset of, I should, I have to, and you're complaining and you're blaming, those are patterns that are not going to make it fun. They are just going to make you so miserable in the process. And we often forget that the process is life. And the goal of life is to feel fulfilled. So that's the point of all of this. And in the next video, I'm going to share with you 3 really important principles. I find them to be key principles to living a fulfilling life. So make sure you check that out. I hope you enjoyed this video and go over there and check out those 3 principles. They're really going to guide you on your way to a fulfilling life.